Hello, guys. Welcome to this session, and I hope you did enjoy the presentation so far. And today I'm here to speak about metrics and metrics for platform engineering initiatives. My name is Graziano. I'm Italian, as you can understand by my name. I never thank enough my parents for giving me this ugly name, but anyway. Um, I'm a developer relation engineer at my platform. I joined the company 2 years ago, and I had the opportunity to see many company trying to understand how to measure their platform, how to measure their platform adoption. And a frequent question is, how can I measure the platform impact over the business outcome? And that's actually what I'm trying to give you the way to answer with this talk. I know that most of you are here to listen the answer to this question, how I can measure my platform initiative success. But before trying to understand how to apply the frameworks we have on the literature, we probably have to understand what. So basically, how we can apply frameworks if we don't know what we have to measure before, which is the scope of the things we have to measure. So first, why we need metrics? The reasons are basically three. The first one, we need metrics, we need something that help us to prove the value we bring to with the platform. We put a lot of effort and investment to build the platform, and we need something to prove this value, prove the value that we bring to the overall organization. And this value can be measured by the platform metrics. The second one, we need metrics to get the buy-in from the higher rank of the stakeholders. There are a lot of success reports out there, but they are not enough to justify the investments in terms of people and money to build a platform. I don't know if you try to go to your boss and said, okay, I need a platform because I read an article online. Good luck. And the last one is to drive further improvements. We build platform on an iterative feedback loop made by evolving TVP. We build a TVP, a Tiniest Viable Platform, and this becomes the foundation for the further improvements of the platform. So we don't need metrics just to know that we did something good. We need metrics also to understand what we can improve and to drive further enhancements for the platform. So maybe the first question to start is not how, in terms of which frameworks I can apply to measure the platform, but what is the scope of the things I want to measure. And to understand the scope of a platform, we have to start by understanding the process that we embark to adopt a platform. It is actually not a standardized process, and it is most of the time unique because you need to tailor the platform over your needs. So to give you just an example, basically you may start to recognize the need of a platform because you see a sort of wall between the developers and the ops team, where the developers are forced to wait for the ops team to give them access to the infrastructure they need. So you start to build a platform to escape this so-called ticket ops trap. And you need a platform to provide them a sort of self-service capability that they can use to get the infrastructure they need in a self-service way. Then, once the developers are onboarded on the platform, you may start to recognize the value of the platform by trying to implement something more wider to enhance the developer experience for the developers. So it's something wider than just self-service capabilities for the infrastructure. You start thinking about paved paths that are more wider than just infrastructure and comes in forms like templates or libraries or something like that. Then once the developer experience is enhanced thanks to the platform, the organization may start recognize that working on the developer productivity often lead to business improvements, benefits from the business side. So the focus scale even further with the aim to accelerate even further the time to market. And at the end, it works to standardize all the process. During these 2 years, even if the adoption of the platform is strongly tailored by the company who embarked this journey, we recognized a sort of recurrent pattern. The first one is that the need of a platform is basically driven by a need to have a self-service capability to provide infrastructure and automation to the developers. And it's actually important to understand which phase you are in when you are trying to set metrics, because each phase comes with different complexities. You have to balance your metrics on the phase you are. So basically, when you work on the first instance to provide self-service infrastructure, it's important to understand under a technological point of view what you have to measure, because you need a clear view of the pain points for your developers. In this way, you can provide just what they need without waste time and money. Then the platform usually evolve, and the shift focus from the automation of the infrastructure to the developer experience. This way, the developers are mostly onboarded on the platform, and in this phase, is important to have a look at the adoption of the platform, because you have to know which is your market, your population of developers that are already on the platform, and which is the potential market, so the developers that are not on the platform. And you have to look to the developers to understand what you need to provide them in terms of developer experience capabilities. And I think that is important is to look at people, because the most common cause of failure for the platform is to focus mostly on the technology, build a lot of abstraction behind using the most advanced technology, but basically if the developers are not on board into the platform, you risk to waste your time, because actually no one uses what you build. The last one is where the focus is shifted, and is shifted even further, and here the target is the business. The platform is recognized no more as something that you can consume passively, but a sort of collaborative tool where developers not only use the automation provided by the platform, but they started to collaborate with others and establish a sort of circular economy of software inside the platform, so that what is built by a team is then put into the platform to be reused by others. And in this phase is important the role of the platform team to curate all these processes and make sure that the process is as seamless as possible. We try to map all these processes into a map that shows a typical process to embark in the platform adoption, but that's not the point for the talk today. What I added this image to the slides because I want you to think about that the platform is actually a picture of the organization, okay? And you have to do a zoom out in terms of the capabilities you are looking for. If you watch the image, the purple cells are the commonly recognized capabilities for the platform, but actually you have to zoom out from that to see the overall picture, where it started from the very beginning with the infrastructure modernization, and you have to have clear in mind what are you build in terms of business benefits. In this vision is simple to understand that we not only deal with technology when we are talking about platforms. Technology is important because we are build something for engineers, but technology must be also adopted. And to adopt something, to make others to adopt the technology, you have to make as seamless as possible the process to use what you build. So the developer experience is also important. Then we also have people. We deal with people, of course, and introducing a platform into an organization often requires change in the organizational paradigm, okay? Look at team topologies, for example. And you have to build a relationship with your people, and you can't just impose new processes with the hope that they are following them blindly. Of course, then we have two other aspects. The first one is architecture, because you start building your platform to fit your current architecture. But when your platform is set up, you have the opportunity to evolve this architecture even further. And last but not least, we don't work for the glory, so we have to translate what we did in a technological way to business outcomes, of course. So even the business must have clear what we are doing and why we are doing that. So it's clear that we can take a framework available on the literature like DORA and apply it to measure all this stuff. We need to understand what the literature tells us, so we need to understand what is DORA, but we have to take what we need and tailor it to our needs. So let's start understanding the mindset we need to set the metrics. First of all, most of the time, you start setting the metrics after you understand what you need in terms of capability. The first thing I want to present in terms of setting the metrics is that you have to incorporate the metric choice into the process where you define what you need and how to build to reach your goal. So first of all, you have to have clear in mind which is your goal. You want to build something in terms of automation for the infrastructure. Maybe in this situation, focusing on how fast is the pipeline to deploy is not the best metric to have. Then, once you know what you want to build, you have to plan and prioritize your capabilities. And last, you have finally the how. So you have to choose the metrics. And the first metrics you have to use is the metrics you have already in use. So basically, you started to recognize the need for a platform, I hope in a data-driven way, not because you wake up and, hey, I need a platform. So basically, the first metrics to use is use what you already have. And then you have to look at the market of frameworks and takes the minimum set of metrics you need, trying to find the balance between having a lot of metrics and having not so enough metrics to understand what you are doing. So to summarize, I learned about 3 pillars to set the metrics. The first one is that the best way to define new metrics is not to define them all. Instead, the first approach to measure what you are doing in terms of platform, but even in terms of any other initiative, is to start by measuring the impact of the platform, of the solution you are proposing with existing metrics. And then we will see also why. Then you have also to take into account the interest of the different stakeholders involved. We are not talking about platform engineers and developers. It's a wide range of people involved into the platform. And you have to consider all the key aspects they are interested in to set your metrics. Last, you have to outline the metrics so that you have progress metrics that define the progress in a technological way of your platform to outcome metrics that identify the business value you are bringing to the overall organization. In this way, you have this link in a clear way and you can explain better why you are building something. First point. The usage of existing metrics. Basically, as I said previously, I hope the decision process is always based on a data-driven foundation. I can't imagine an engineer that wake up in the morning and say, hey boss, I need a platform. And the answer will be something like, oh, did you buy a train? Why you need a platform? You need basically the metrics that let you understand that something is not working. So when you find the solution to solve the problem, if the metric doesn't change, if the context doesn't change, and the only thing that actually changes is your solution, you can isolate the problem and evaluate against the context in which the problems arise in the first instance. Then we have to look at the specific platform personas. And as I said, we are not just talking about the platform team and the developers. It's a wider range of people. And to understand who they are and their interest, we have to talk about, we have to have a look at how the platform is consumed inside the organization. At the beginning, we have the owners of the effort, the platform engineers. They are actually building something that is important under a technological point of level. They are building technical systems. So the first metrics they are looking for are metrics that can measure under a technological engineering and technological point of view this effort. Then they are looking for also to metrics that define, that help them to understand how the platform is adopted inside the organization. So the first two set of metrics that are important to us are adoption and engineering metrics. Then we have the product teams. Actually, our internal clients, if we want to speak in terms of platform as a product. So they are likely to use the platform if the platform itself makes their life easier. So the metrics that are important to them are the metrics related to the developer experience. On the side, we have the internal stakeholder, the so-called stakeholder that have the power to sponsor the platform or to abort the initiative, and they are looking to metrics related to the business, okay? They want to see clearly how what you are doing in terms of technology is impact the business outcome of the organization. At the end, of course, we have the end customers. They probably don't know nothing about the platform. They don't know that the product they are building is built using a platform, but I think sure they care a lot about the reliability of the product you are building. So you have to incorporate also reliability metrics into the platform to understand how you are working and your success. Let's come to the metrics, let's come to the frameworks. I added just 3 frameworks. There are also other frameworks that you can use to measure your platform, but it's just a brief look at what we have in terms of literature. I want to talk about DORA, Space, and Monk, which are 3 frameworks completely different from each other, and that each of them is built and refined over the years to serve a specific purpose. The first one is DORA metrics. Everyone know about DORA metrics. These are the North Stars for a lot of DevOps team in the space, and they basically aim to measure 2 aspects: the velocity of what we are building and the stability of the outcome we are producing. About velocity, they are based on 2 cornerstones. The first one is deployment frequency, so trying to measure the number of successful deployment that we do in production, and the lead time for changes, so the time, how long it takes to write the code and put it into production. From the other side, so the stability, we have 2 pillars. The first one is the change failure rates, how often deployment brings to failures in production, and how fast we are to recover from these failures, which are the median time to restore. The other one is space. This framework is particularly useful for the developer experience side of the platform. It's younger than DORA. I think it was developed in 2021 or something like that, and it is an acronym of the aspects it aims to measure in terms of developer experience. In fact, we have 5 different areas, which are the satisfaction. So the first thing it want to measure is how fulfilled, healthy, and happy a developer is about its work. The second one is the performance, so the measuring the outcome of the process in terms, for example, review rate, customer satisfaction, or reliability. The third one is activity, so you are measuring the count of action or outputs. Then we have the communication, so measuring all the stuff involved inside the communication processes between teams, and the efficiency in terms of quality and quantity of uninterrupted outputs that the developers can produce. This is in terms of context switch, for example. The last one is the less known, I think, in the engineering space, because it's Monk. It's not engineering related, it's more about the market analysis. And this is also another acronym, and stands for market share, onboarding time, net promoter score, and key customer metrics. Why we need Monk? Monk is particularly useful in the context of platforms to measure the adoption. Monk helps us to have a focus on the market share, so the number of developers who are using the platforms, the onboarding time, so we have to take care about the experience of the developer using the platform, and then the net promoter score, which is how likely the developers are to suggest the solution to other developers. So we have these 3 frameworks. We just need to take these 3 frameworks and apply them blindly. No, because we have to tailor what the frameworks tell us to what we are trying to build. And how we can do that? We can do that by connecting the dots. So first of all, as I said, have clear in mind the goal. You have to always keep in mind what you are building. It doesn't matter if it is something for the automation of the infrastructure or to improve the developer experience. You have to set the metrics based on what you are building. The second one is to understand how the platform personas has impacted. Everyone in every phase of the platform adoption have interest in your platform. So it's wrong to think that if you are in the initial phase where you are thinking about automation, infrastructure automation, the business is not impacted. You have to provide the whole picture. The third one is the usage of the frameworks itself. You have to know the framework we already seen, and you have to take what you need from them and try to apply this to the persona's viewpoint. I talked about the business, and I said that the platform is the picture of the organization, and this is actually true. And if the platform is the picture of the organization, the metrics you set must tell a story, and this story must be connected between the low-level personas, so the platform engineers, to the business one. And the best way to do so is to have in your bucket both progress metrics and outcome metrics. Progress metrics are the most simple one, which are the metrics that quantify the value of your platform, and then the outcome metrics are those that measure the impact of the platform over your business outcomes. Having both help you to demonstrate a correlation between engineering productivity and business outcome, making a clear picture of the story you want to tell in terms of how the platform is beneficial for the business. Look at the image, for example. We started from an adoption metrics, so on board 80% of the product portfolio on the platforms, and we want to link these metrics to the business one. Business is looking to improve the time to market by 20% year over year. You have to find a domino effect where, starting from the adoption metrics, arrive to a DevX metrics. So having the 80% of the portfolio on the platform, reduce the 70% of the ticket of the ops team, making the deploy cycle even shorter, and increasing the reliability of the system so that the developers are faster in delivering value and the time to market is accelerated. Last but not least, we talked about the goal. It's important to have in mind the goal. And to do so, we have to start from the strategic objective of the company. We can split the strategic objective of the company in 3 different levels so that they are affordable to understand and to work with. The first one is the enterprise level, is the higher. The second one is the portfolio level, so the translation of the enterprise level to topics more close to the product team. And the last one is the team level, so the lower level where the targets are not the wide organization, but the single team. We have to start from this strategic objective, set the platform objective, and starting from this platform objective, we can define the metrics. We've ended the time, so now it's time to recap the takeaways of the session. First one, escape the metrics traps. If you don't know which metrics you need, don't add any. The best way is to measure and evaluate the solution you are proposing with the measure you already have. The second one, take always care about the people that are using your product, in these terms, the platform. And then try to align progress metrics with outcome metrics to give the whole story to the people who are reading the metrics. And the last one, when you are setting your goals, start by defining the metrics from the wider objective for the organization, from the strategic objectives. thank you. If you have any question, I'm here or around the conference. And if you want, here you can find some other articles where I talked about this kind of stuff. And my written English is better than my spoken, so maybe it's clear. Thank you.
Thank you, Graziano. We've got time for maybe one or two questions. Anyone with a question?
That's one.
One here. Here we go. Can I pass you the mic?
Hello, Graziano. I think it was a good talk. One of the biggest problems I've found when I've done what you've done as well is the cultural issue, which is a lot of the times people come in with, here's a solution, can you go and implement it for us, rather than here are a load of requirements, can you work with us to solve them? How do your metrics help solve that problem? Do they say anything about that at all?
So you are basically saying that your customers or the team comes with the solution and not with the problem, right?
Correct. Yeah, they'll say, "Oh,
Okay.
Can we have another three-node Kubernetes cluster, for instance?"
Okay. Basically, maybe the problem is not about metrics, but it's more about how you dialogue with these people. I showed you the map in the 5th or 6th slide. And we actually built it to sit on the same table with our customers and talk together about what they want to accomplish in terms of, I want to arrive here. So they are basically tell us what they want, not what they think we have to do to arrive there.
Correct.
So basically, I think that before start to talk about metrics, you have to try to establish a sort of dialogue in different terms with the customers. Maybe the metrics can help you because when they come with a solution, you can ask, okay, you have a solution, probably you already thought about the problem. Can you show me the metrics, the measurement you have to support, to notice this problem? If they don't, there is another problem. You can start talking about that, talking from that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you.
Maybe.
Often the problem that I have with, by the way, love the talk, but I've been told to keep it short and snappy. The problem that I found with metrics is Goodhart's law. Any measure used for social control ceases to be, or any measure which becomes a target ceases to be a good measure. Effectively, you have people trying to gain metrics, I guess the question I'm trying to get at is how do you avoid the gamification of metrics, or how do you avoid people trying to effectively work around the metrics such that their number looks bigger or their result looks better, as opposed to the metrics, which causes the metrics to stop being an accurate reflection of the platform?
Okay, if I understood, you are asking me how to avoid that the metrics become the objective, so that the people work just not in terms of goals, but in terms of someone said, I have this threshold, I reached the threshold, that's okay. Probably this is also a problem related to the culture. Because if the people who are working with you think in these terms, probably you can't do something about how you set the metrics, but you have to try to make it visible that the metrics are just a tool, a mean to understand the impact of what you are doing. That's not the objective. You have not to set thresholds that, okay, we are reached the threshold, we are happy, let's go on vacation. Okay?
Yeah. And I think we'll have to leave it there. But thank you so much, Graziano.
Okay.
Please, a round of applause.
Thank you.